And we are live. It is time. We could be seeing one of the two teams in Group A confirming their spot in the Super
doubts?
8. I mean, no, I'm stating facts.
Yeah.
One of the two will confirm. Assuming an upset happens, then USA are actually through, and that's bad news for Pakistan. But we all know what is likely to happen. So, hello everyone, good evening, and welcome back to Sports Today. We are building up to the big match, should we call it that? India A versus India B.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Green
the big
card
match.
versus Aadhaar card.
Green
what are they
card
calling it?
versus Aadhaar card. It's also being called as
The H1B derby.
H1B. It's not H1B. It is H1B versus the big boys.
Big boys derby.
They're also saying this is as Chin said. Yeah, green card versus Aadhaar card. Then this is techies versus
Big boys.
the big boys, or things like that. But yeah, that's
Also
how it is.
India's last game in New York.
It is the last game in New York only. Yeah. There aren't any more matches in New York.
Oh,
after that.
last game in New York over. Oh,
Yeah, so that's what I was.
Rid of this pitch.
I was about to interject you over there when you said, welcome to the big match today. I know big match, but the last match for sure, as far as New York is concerned. And look at that. Look at Shane's expression.
Just
over
to
there.
quote a
And
meme.
I think inside every cricket fan, everyone would feel the same way. That thank God you're not playing anymore at this stadium. For all those low-scoring thrillers, as they're being called, we did a poll.
They're not thrillers. They're not thrillers.
But we need to put some more respect over there when we say that, and say it not like we're dissing the whole thing, because we ran a poll yesterday, Shane, remember? And we were
and a lot of
outvoted.
people, yeah.
70% of the people felt that this is good. These low scoring thrillers are actually good.
I mean, just to quote a line from a meme that's very popular, a lot of people use it on social media as well. It's a line from a Meek Mill song called Dreams and Nightmares. And the first line is, I used to dream of days like this. This is exactly what it was. We're done with New York. Done, dusted. Khatam, tata, bye-bye.
If that is the case,
Alas.
then we should have the same situation for Providence, Guyana. Even there also you're going to
But
see.
no, that's the thing. Providence, Guyana and the likes are low kind of pitches.
Yeah, that's the nature of the wicket.
Yeah, this is terrible. I'm sorry, this is terrible.
Wicket that cricket shouldn't be played.
I don't mind a spinning track.
It's borderline unsafe.
Yeah.
Let's put it that
It
way.
was
We've seen
unsafe.
the ball hit the head of a batter,
Arm.
the elbow, the chest, the shoulder. Seen all of that happen.
Although nothing happened in the Pakistan game, though, India-Pakistan game, where Pakistan chose to freeze.
There,
on their own.
no. There a choke happened. But that had nothing to do
A
with
freeze,
the pitch.
a freeze, a choke,
Yeah,
whatever.
there the pitch didn't really come into play.
It did.
that
The pitch
much.
had absolutely nothing to do with it, because see, now the situation is kind of crystallizing out on each and every group. So suppose the winner today is guaranteed the Super 8 spot.
Correct.
The winner. India, irrespective of where they finish, they are A1. Now, unfortunate thing is, you can check out the qualification videos that we have done. The caravan moves to Florida.
Oh yes.
And there until 15, the weather is absolutely woeful. 98% chance of rain all over Florida.
Even after 6, I think US is playing their last Super 8 game on the 18th.
Last league game.
Last league game. Sorry, before Super 8, the last league game, they are playing Ireland on 18th, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, I think it's...
No, 18th is when the Super 8s begin.
No, 18th, 17th it ends. 19th onwards.
That's what I'm saying. 18th is when Super 8s, I think, begin.
There is a day
There's a day's gap.
gap.
19.
Are you sure?
Yes, there's a day
Because
gap.
19th India are playing 19. India are not playing
India
the first
playing
day.
on the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay, then 19, 20, 89. That's where I'm.
Yeah,
missing.
India are playing on the 20th.
Yeah, India
C1.
playing the second day of Super 8s. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of confusion over the schedule also, because some games are basically starting on a day before, but they're starting the next day morning
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, go
So
on, Joe.
because of
Just
that,
go-
actually there is a bit of
there's a
confusion
bit of
over the dates.
confusion because-
Yes, go up
Last game is
slightly.
18th,
Up.
19th Super 8 is
There.
starting.
Yeah. So it is A2 D1, B1 C2.
Yeah, that's the first day of the Super 8s.
Super 8s. And India are playing on 20th, India are playing on 22, and India are playing on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So that is the thing. Now in B,
But wait, it is 2:30 GMT.
but 8 p.m. here.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. here.
I see. All India games are 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Except maybe the semi-final, I don't know. Because you are going to have that in Guyana. That's
Yeah, no, even that game, if I'm not wrong, is the 8
It's 8
o'clock
p.m.
game.
The
Yeah.
first semi-final is
Yeah,
6
Guyana
a.m.
is 8 p.m. and the first one
Yeah.
is 6
So, whoever wins this goes through. But USA Ireland, the game is in danger of a washout.
Because it's again in Florida.
So if you get 1 point from that, whatever Pakistan do win by 200 runs or win by 190 runs, it doesn't matter, then they are eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay. England are on the brink of elimination in B Group B, because then B1 will most likely be Scotland. B2 will be Australia, and India will take on Australia. C, now that is the group.
This is why you shouldn't pre-seed the tournament.
Yep. Now C will be really, really interesting, because today is the one game that will decide the entire group.
Group C is actually turned out to be the real group of interest, the real group of death.
Group C is the West Indies group, right?
Yes.
West Indies,
versus
New Zealand, and of course Afghanistan, who have ensured that one of these two teams will be eliminated because their net run rate is so good. It's +5.
+5.
And they may get a better boost because they're playing Papua New Guinea next.
Oh God, Papua New Guinea.
I think this just opens the doors for
The last game
India.
is against the West Indies, right?
Yes. And that will only mean for position, but nothing else. So if Afghanistan go through, they become C1 and West Indies are C2.
Anyway, back to the game at hand. Two quick questions, and you all can answer in yes or no. One, or just basically just one or two words. A, if India win the toss, what are they doing? B, do you see any players being rested? Start with you.
I'll answer the second question first. Do I see players being rested? Maybe I do.
Okay.
Maybe I do. In fact, I'll put it this way. I firstly want players to be rested, and second, I think they will be rested as well.
Kashmir?
A couple of them.
I'll answer the other part.
The other question that you had, which is what teams would do, the winning captain would do. Winning captain, as we've seen in the past, would want to have a bowl first.
Correct.
Yeah, even I think answering the first question, that after winning the toss, even USA would want to bowl first, because I think
Whoever it may be.
it may be, because India, I think they should go and choose to bat first, because that's the real problems that India have. So that would be a good thing to do. But I don't think India is going to do that. They are going with the safe approach, and they are going to choose to bowl first. But if USA win, then I think even they would want to do that. As far as resting players is concerned, I don't think anybody is getting rested. But I would definitely want two players to be changed, because I think that those two players would be playing the West Indies leg. So before getting into West Indies, I think they need a little bit of game time with the whole team, just to gel up and just to have the feel of the World Cup. For me, those are Kuldeep Yadav and Yashasvi.
Fair enough.
Yashasvi, you see definitely playing in the second leg of the tournament.
I would want that to happen. I don't see that happening, but yeah, that is what I would want. So I would
Kuldeep,
want.
in fact, is that one day if I'm looking at a change.
If I want 100%.
Yeah, because I see
wouldn't want
Kuldeep
Yashasvi.
featuring in the second half as well.
It's tough to fit him right now.
No, in place of Dubey and push everyone.
But again, with Dubey, considering how the thing is going to be in the West Indies, you're going to have slow
Dubey.
pitches. I think his bowling may come in some handy.
No, but again, like, that's the point again. But as a batter, do you think that he will have the impact on these wickets?
You have to have the faith.
Yeah, you picked him up on faith. Now you have to then be
No, but
showing that
faith doesn't actually work, right? That's
No,
the same faith you showed in a Vijay Shankar also a few years back.
No. The difference here is that having that eighth batter, regardless of how good or bad his form may be, is giving the license to your top guns to actually go for it. So anyway, this is a whole different debate. I didn't want to go into that.
Just
but let's
sorry,
see.
I'll just one.
And Aaron Jones is captaining.
Oh, okay.
So there's no
a-
Monang
So
Patel.
Monang is not.
Oh, Monang is injured. There's your update.
Oh.
So that's a bit of a breaking news update for you guys. Monang Patel has picked up a bit of an injury, and Aaron Jones, well, is going to be captaining the US of A in this particular game. Very interesting.
And Aaron Jones has been one of the stars for the USA in this T20 World Cup.
Correct.
One of the top run getters in this edition. And let's see how it is. Monang Patel.
But both those guys that we mentioned, both Aaron Jones and Monang Patel, Sports Day is on the ground. As you know, Nikhil has spoken with both of them. So once we're done with this stream, go ahead, check out those interviews as well.
Yep.
They're up already on the platform. We're only moments away from the toss. Rohit Sharma, Aaron Jones, both in the center. Who's giving them company though?
No idea as of now.
Yeah.
But just to answer those questions.
I would say win
It is
toss
Mr.
and
Shastri.
bowl.
And resting anyone?
No.
Same. I'm also saying win, toss, bowl. Don't rest anyone now. Maybe
Personal
Canada.
opinion?
Yeah,
Rest or
personal
don't
opinion.
rest?
Personal opinion, don't rest. What I think will happen, no rest.
Same. I don't think you're resting anybody in this, because see, there is Super 8 qualifications.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you don't know whether you'll get game time on 15th.
Yeah. So
Because of the weather in Lord.
No, but then wouldn't you want Kuldeep Yadav to come, because I think he's a show shot in the second.
You are looking at the West Indies leg.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're not looking at anything now.
But for you, is he 100% certainty in the West Indies.
Most likely.
Then don't you think they're giving him game time now?
I he'll turn it on immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah, he will.
He's
But
a
I think it's
professional
also
in that.
about the combinations and how Rohit actually uses the bowlers, and because as soon as the Kuldeep comes in, the dynamics of using the bowlers would also change. So even for Rohit Sharma.
But again, see the two changes that you have mentioned. Where are you going to fit them in? Is Yashasvi Jaiswal going to be at number 3?
And
No, what he's saying is if you're dropping
no.
Dubey, push Yashasvi up and
yeah.
push everyone else one down.
Yeah.
Then that means you're saying okay.
Kohli at 3 and everyone.
No.
Okay, I'm saying
Then that's
even if-
disaster.
No, I'm saying even if you want batters till 8 and you want that depth in your batting, then what you can even do is drop a Jadeja, get in a Yashasvi at top of the order, push everyone down. You still have 6 bowling options. You don't have 7 then, but you have 6 bowling options.
It doesn't
And
do-
then you get Kuldeep in place of a pacer.
Somewhere down the line, you have seen India stick with a certain formula, and Jadeja
That's a
fits
safe
into that
formula.
formula. Jadeja fits into that formula, and that is why.
But he fits into the formula only on reputation. I'm sorry.
that's it. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
then he is fitting in.
because if you're looking at purely performance
Reputation
wise.
test in ODI.
No, even if you go by reputation previously,
For
he-
11 years, he's had a reputation.
he's at least given you that option, that balancing option of someone who can bowl a bit and bat a bit. But other than that, if you're asking me as an opposition leader,
Yep.
am I going to be intimidated by Ravindra Jadeja? Definitely not. Any which way you know
Okay,
how it is the things are going to be
so-
starting. And just a breaking news update before we go into the team sheets, guys. India won the toss and they have chosen to field. So bad luck for
Same
Standard
team.
skipper Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it's the same team. So
As I
Same
said.
team.
Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Surya Kumar Yadav, that is your top 4, followed by a Shivam Dube. Then you got Hardik Pandya at 6, 7 is Ravindra Jadeja, 8 is Aksar Patel, Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and
And-
Mohammad Siraj, and no changes.
As I expected, because again, I know how the Indian team psyche works. They're not going to make any changes until it's tied.
And if you look at it, see, unless it's a forced change, they're going to make changes. Otherwise, they are just not going to change the composition for the heck of it. You saw that in 2022 also, but then there was an injury, if I'm not mistaken, that forced a change in the combination, right?
Two?
I think DK.
DK didn't get injured. No.
I think
His
he
form was
dropped.
poor.
He was
Rishabh you were saying.
DK started, but then Rishabh Pant came in.
For the Zimbabwe game onwards, he started coming.
Correct. Zimbabwe game, then he played against England.
That's it. So that is why, if you look at it, this is the right kind of move, because you don't know whether you're going to get game time in Lauderhill. So that is why going into Barbados, you would want to ensure play with the same team. Don't make changes in that sense.
See, I'll tell you why I don't agree with this approach, because I think that you are getting ready to play the West Indies leg, okay? And what I feel is that consistency, like you said, in the team is very important when you're playing such a tournament. You do not want to make changes on the basis of conditions. You want to, but not as many. And that's what the team has exactly done. So I feel that playing USA and playing 3 pacers here, plus a Dubey and Hardik Pandya, that is a little defensive move.
How is it a defensive move? It's a pitch that's favoring pacers.
But
that's not defensive. That's doing exactly what the conditions
this
ask
is not
of
the
you.
pitch you're going to get in the West Indies. Now,
But you'll prepare
But
for
then-
West Indies pitches on the West Indies pitches. You're
By
not gonna do it
that
from now.
logic, what
Yeah.
you said, you're preparing, this is not the preparation.
It's like saying that you're going to be playing.
Just an unpopular opinion that I have. It takes me back to that press conference that Rohit Sharma had, and remember how cagey he was, how he kept all his cards close to the chest, and he said that there's a reason why I wanted the additional spinner in the side, and that's why you had UZ. And he said that these are things I'm going to disclose once you're in the Windies. Now, is this a case of India not wanting to show the other teams what it has in terms of armory or put its cards out? The only thing that goes against that logic is that these are international players anyways.
Exactly.
There is not much that you can hide.
Yeah, this is not a case of like you've brought in, say, a Varun Chakravarti in 21 who no one knew about. The players you have on your bench are Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal. Everyone knows about their quality. No, this is just a case of using horses for courses. Simple as. And I don't agree with the logic that Shash was putting forward of saying that, you'll prepare for the West Indies from now. That's like saying, oh, I have a test series against, say, the West Indies in India, but after that I'm traveling to Australia. So let me play 4 paces. Doesn't work like that. You'll play the conditions you have, and the conditions you have is conducive to you having 2 part-time spinners who'll at most give you 4 overs. Maybe 5 if one of them is having a really rip-roaring day. I don't see anything beyond that. I think they're doing the right thing.
Or maybe this has nothing to do with cricket. Maybe this is to do with them. One just want to take a stroll down the Times Square, probably meet Nikhil there as well, who joins us right now as I see, and just wrap things up quickly in Nassau County and hit the streets.
Could be. Who knows?
If you play with this squad, there is all possibility of this match wrapping up early, and maybe that's what they'd want to do.
Nah, not really, not really. So
Yeah,
we are joined by Nikhil.
Yeah, he'll be with us shortly. He'll be with us
Shortly.
shortly. He's fixing his frame. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here with you.
You hear us?
Not shortly, I am with you.
There we go.
Of course, I can hear you guys.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you for the last 10 minutes. What's
Yep.
up?
So Nikhil, no changes in the Indian side, and they have opted to bowl.
Yeah.
The right approach, because many people are saying that maybe there could be some changes, but in the press conference yesterday and even here, not many changes were indicated. But is this the right way to go about it now?
See, if you remember the video that I did right after the press conference yesterday, there were enough indication, and at that time only we had let our viewers know that there aren't going to be too many changes. So if you were expecting that a Kuldeep Yadav is going to be playing, it wasn't going to happen. If you were expecting a Yashasvi Jaiswal going to be playing, wasn't going to happen. That is something we knew. Yashasvi Jaiswal I knew 100% because I caught him strolling around New York City in the evening last night. So you're not playing tomorrow's game, because if you're playing tomorrow's game, then you're in your bed resting, getting ready for the game. He was doing a bit of sightseeing. That itself, gave me an idea that he won't be playing this particular game. So, and also Kuldeep, you heard from Paras Mambre yesterday when he came and spoke about, what his role is going to be, what they're looking at doing. You knew that he had made it very sure that in this pitch, we're not playing three spinners. So that was a giveaway. If you're not playing three spinner, Kuldeep doesn't come in. And the other thing is that they're looking at batting till number 8. So those things put together, even though he said it's not cast in stone that you have to bat till 8, but more often than not, you'll see the Indian team bat till 8. So all of that put together, you knew Kuldeep wasn't coming in. Or if Kuldeep doesn't come in, obviously Yuzi isn't coming in. What are the other changes? The only changes, and I remember, when we were talking yesterday, the only change I could have thought of was probably rest Hardik Pandya, and that too, because we've seen it in the past, right? I remember the last T20 World Cup in Australia, Zimbabwe, or maybe another game or two here and there. I think he is in Sydney, maybe. I remember they rested him. India was doing well. So there is a precedent there where you've seen in the past where especially Hardik Pandya is rested because of workload management, nothing else. So with that in mind, I thought maybe, they're going to be resting him, but that hasn't happened. So India going with the same team, maybe, I don't know. One is that I can, when we spoke yesterday, I said there is no right or wrong answer. If you think that, no, you should not rest anyone, play with your team so that they are in momentum, even that's fine. If you want to make, I thought a few changes would be better, because then why I thought that is because that not everyone is firing. See, if everything is hunky-dory, everything is doing very well, then there's no need to make any changes, right? But because there were a few glitches in the Indian team and maybe tougher challenges maybe up ahead, then you could have just seen the form of the other guys. So supposing, hypothetically, if you had doubts over a Dubey, do you want to drop him? But if you drop him, who you going to go for? And if you go for that, what is it that person is offering? Hypothetically, if it's Sanju Samson, if you're trying to see, if he's not offering you much, and if you're not confident with him, then no point dropping Shivam Dubey or even thinking about it. So at least that is something that you could have seen had you played some of your, bench strength. Okay, then you would have known, okay, this guy is in good form. He's there. He's got some runs. I'm still not bringing him, but I know that need be on a tough situation, on a big game, I can suddenly bring that player up. So that's not happening. Maybe the reasoning behind, as I said, no right or wrong answers. Maybe the reasoning behind them staying with the 11 is because other than, the Pakistan game, the Indian batters also haven't had a run, right, to bat a bit, to get some used to the conditions, even though this is the last match to be played here, but you're pretty much getting slow pitches all across. So that could be the only logic that I can think of, maybe to give them a bit more confidence, get used to the rhythm, the momentum of the T20 World Cup. They've gone with that. But it's also going to be a lot of hard work going forward, because from here on the gaps between the games are going to be less. Florida is the only one where you'll have a bit of a gap in the first game in Barbados. After that's going to be hectic. So you may have to still rotate players going ahead, but maybe not now. And I guess that's why they've gone with the team that they are.
Nikhil, when you had done the interview with Monank, did he give an indication that was he injured or something? Because this
Sorry, Siddharth, I lost you there. Could you come again?
Okay, when you had done the interview with Monank, did you get an indication that yes, he was injured and he might be in doubt for this game for the USA?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. So I'm a bit surprised. I am a bit surprised. Not at all. In fact, it was late night. He was pretty excited about the game. You never know, but there have been occasions where you've had players pull out last moment, but no, not at that time. To answer your question.
Okay, so
It's just funny that he has this India connection, and we've seen similar stories pan out that ahead of a crucial match, somebody has a side strain, and then you have somebody else paratrooped into the side.
that is the problem at this point in time. But then, Nikhil, the excitement that they see, most of the guys, for example, Saurabh is there. He's played with he's been in Mumbai. Played with some Mumbai guys. There's also Harmeet Singh also.
Who, by the way, has played alongside Rahul Dravid in the IPL.
Yeah, and also under 19 World Cup, he was the thing there. So a decade later, when when they are facing off against the Indian side, I mean, how is the psyche for them? I mean, what all have they seen? What all have they, like, the mental aspect of it, how they are coping up with that? Oh yes, we are facing a Rohit, a Virat. 10 years ago they were different. Now they are the players in this modern era.
No, so see again, a lot of these players, their journeys are incredible. What I really like about them is the fact that, they were all passionate about cricket. They continue to play cricket. At certain point in their lives, realize that okay, maybe we're not good enough to make the cut, and then they reach that situation, right? Like all of us do, especially in the subcontinent, that you have to earn a living. They reached that situation and took the harsh call of letting go of cricket to earn a living. And so you go to greener pastures like the US of A, and you come here and you try to make a living. It just so happens you start playing minor counties, and then now there are major counties. There are a lot of organized clubs you play, and then the US team comes together. By the way, the US team has been there all around, but the organization was a royal mess. In fact, even now as we speak, who knows, USA cricket is having issues with the ICC. The great point suggests that right after this World Cup is over, just as this stadium is going to be dismantled after today's game, even USA cricket is going to be dismantled after this. A new committee is going to take over, or a new bunch of administrators are going to take over. So it's been in a bit of a mess with all of that to put together this team. And by the way, I got to know that they did not have any sort of preparations going into this World Cup. So, no games, the team hasn't played together, they don't play too much cricket. So hurriedly what they did is said, okay, to give them some cricket, what do you do? Okay, first up, Canada is next door neighbor, right? Okay, come on guys, you guys come. Let's play a series amongst each other. So that series was organized hurriedly. At least that is something that USA won. It gave them some sort of confidence, because as you know, Canada far more experienced in that regard compared to India, right? So when USA beat them, and I was speaking to a lot of players, Armeet included, last evening after I interviewed Monarch in their hotel. This is what they were saying. I think that was the start. It gave them a lot of confidence. Okay, we can beat Canada. And then it was a few months ago, Bangladesh had approached them to play cricket, but as I said, the USA cricket administration was in a mess. No one followed it up. And then suddenly somebody realized that, listen, there is a cold trail there. They had gotten in touch with us to play some sort of cricket. They may also be looking for things. Let's reignite that. No, let's revisit that trail, and let's see if we can get some cricket. And so they revisited it, and lo and behold, Bangladesh said, yeah, we also wanted to play. We want to get some experience. And then this was decided last moment. So they came, and then you beat them. So I think all of that gave USA cricket a lot of confidence going into this tournament, and then the wins that they've had. So it's an incredible story. You must, and now up until now, I'd said that, cricket in the US has really not arrived. But it has, and it's not got to do, with the Cricket World Cup. It's got more to do with how USA is doing. Because you know what? The New York Times is reporting it, right?
Yeah.
So it makes, it gets the people here to realize what's happening. I came in an Uber driver, and my driver was a Mexican, not interested in cricket at all, but he knew about it. Because of the World Cup happening here, because of the security around and people coming in, fans coming in. So he knows there's a sport, and it's a sport that is popular, people are watching. He doesn't know. So at least what it's done is, not for the expats and the subcontinental population or the Caribbean population that is in US, which always knew about cricket, but at least for the born and bred Americans, for them, it has kind of made an impact. As in now they know, okay, there is a sport. It's a sport that people are playing. It is popular. We have a team from the US away. I'll give you an interesting one. We're coming via the train, and the train driver in his typical American accent announces every station. So when we reached the station, he said, it's called Westbury. So he said, here's Westbury. Everyone who's here for the Cricket World Cup, get off. And then he says, "Go USA!" He announced that on the mic as well. So I mean, they know that USA is playing. They're playing India, and they're playing in the Cricket World Cup. They're playing there for the first time. So it's at least also. I went to the 9/11 memorial yesterday. That's a smart marketing technique. They put up giant screens there with the cricket matches showing. It's like a smallish fan park. So what that does is you have people from all across the world come there, right? And when you're walking and you're seeing a giant screen and a sport being played in cricket, even if you're not interested in the sport, you stop for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, some for 1 minute. It's a sitting area. So if you're tired, you've been walking all day, you'll sit down. And while you're sitting down and having your tea, coffee, or a soft drink, whatever, you're looking at the screen and you're watching it for a couple of minutes. It makes a huge difference, right? So I think those things have been done, and it's I wouldn't say it's really established itself, but it's kind of made a small mark into the minds of the American public that cricket is there and that Cricket World Cup is happening here.
So in a way, you can say it's comparable, right, to how it happened, say, even in the FIFA World Cup. Because again, there was growth there, but then the FIFA World Cup happens '94, and then the sport really starts kind of taking off, forms a little bit of a space, let's say, in the public conscience. Because again, prior to that, there had been national leagues and everything. Pele played, but they all kind of just fell by the wayside. Now you're seeing a World Cup there.
Shane,
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting you talk about football, or as they say, soccer here, because again, I was talking to the Uber driver and a couple of them, and a lot of them are Mexican. And football is huge in Mexico. When I say Mexican, a lot of them could be second generation, right, born and brought up here. So I was talking to them and by the way, they still say that soccer is not even. So they are Big Four, right? The Big Four sport in the US. They call them the Big Four. So they still feel soccer is far behind. Even though we were talking about Messi coming here and the kind of impact that he's made, the USA team has done well, but he's still nowhere even close to the Big Four, which is of course basketball and American football, and you've got baseball. Yeah, and so and then there are other sports which he mentions are massive. For example, tennis. Tennis is also quite a popular sport in the US. I mean, when you look at sport, then the other one which is massive is athletics. So while rest of the world we only follow it occasionally, here it's big. University level athletics and track and field events are massive. Wrestling is very big in the US.
Swimming also.
Plenty of sport that the Americans follow. And now, if you look at it, by the way, the sport that's competing for the Big Four is pickleball. I've seen courts all around. It's become massively popular. I've seen courts all around all areas because you can easily organize it. So I mean, that's another matter. But again, going back to that soccer example, it's still not really big. It's still in the Spanish-speaking population, South American population that reside here, that is big. But if you look at the majority of the African American and the European American population, which forms the large chunk of USA, and even the Native Americans, which aren't very big, but a minor population, in these three sets of population, soccer, as they call it, is far behind.
Yeah. Gridiron, they call that American football, not gridiron.
And to add to the popularity of cricket right now, Nikhil spoke about it being reported, the sport being reported in the New York Times. There is chatter around in local circles. There is, by the way, just to add to all of that, a Drake who's making a lot of money by placing bets also, and that's also counting for a lot of news.
Yeah. But anyway, see, there was one article in the New York Times, I don't know which one was it. They gave the scoreline, India defeated Pakistan 119.
That was NY Times.
Yeah, that was the NY Times.
Yeah.
But okay, see, now at least somebody's trying to report on cricket, and many people are trolling the NYT. I'm like, hello, okay, it is not even a global sport. I mean, it's played by 10 nations. How on earth can effectively 10
Right
nations?
now 20 playing.
Yeah, 10 nations, top level cricket is played by 10 nations.
Just before the game starts, something I want to know from you, sir, is that you talked to a lot of players yesterday also in the hotel. You actually interviewed a few of them. How big an occasion is it for them actually? Because a lot of them actually started dreaming about playing for India when they started playing. So is it, does that get that extra motivation from them to do well in this game? Because now suddenly they would have never thought they would be playing against India in a world event.
Yeah, Shashwat, you're right. I mean, I did speak to a few players about that. The fact that you played for, or you aspired to play for India, not getting a chance. So is there, some sort of that bitter feeling that you had? Is this a chance for you to then, seek revenge or something like that? But no, there's no such feelings. No such feelings. I think what is going to fire them up, and this is something that all of them said. What's really going to fire them up today is the twofold thing. One, when you're playing against India, the world is watching. So if you really want to show your mettle, you do it against India, and then you would truly arrive on the cricketing scene if you were to get a 60 odd here, 80 odd here as a batter, or a 3-wicket haul or a 4-wicket haul. I think that's the one motivation factor. The other, which they've made no bones about, been very honest, whether it was Aaron, whether it was Farhan, everyone else, that hello, who doesn't want an IPL contract, right? So if you do well against India, and it's not just limited to the American team, we've spoken about it in the past with other teams as well, that if you want some sort of IPL scouts to pay attention towards you, or a big IPL contract, then which match better than the India match to perform? So I think that's also going to be motivation, and they've said it in as many words. So yeah, I think these are the two things that players want to do well, because also in terms of qualification, that was very interesting. I think they pretty much know in their heads that they are going to the Super 8s. I know you'll pull out calculations, permutation, combination, but for US, there are three. For Pakistan, you need 3-4 things to come together. For US, one out of any of the three things need to come good, and they go through. One, if they beat India, who knows? They've upset a few teams. Never know. T20 game, tricky pitch, anything could happen. If that doesn't happen, they have to hope for Pakistan to lose one of the games. Who knows? That might happen. Most importantly, the kind of cricket that they're playing, and I'm not going to take the names of the player, but I did speak to a few American players. They're pretty confident that they can beat Ireland. See, firstly, there is a good chance of rain there. If it gets rained out, doesn't matter what happens, USA qualify, Pakistan are out. So that's something that's nobody's controlled. Rain is predicted. Good chance that game gets washed out. Even if it does not, I spoke to a few USA players, and they feel that in these conditions, the pitches that you're getting here, they start as the favorites. And this wasn't like, being bullish about yourself, but just very critical analysis. They felt that they'll start as favorites versus Ireland. So even if they go head to head, they should beat them in these conditions. Yeah, you had truer batting conditions, better pitches, the kinds that you see in England, the kinds that you're seeing in India. Those kind of pitches, yeah, Ireland would have been clear favorites. These pitches, I think the American team fancies themselves to beat Ireland. So they are all geared up for the Super 8s. In their heads, they're pretty much there.
Yeah, I mean, simple. The Florida game is going to be the most important, USA-Ireland, because that is a virtual shootout. If anybody of them wins, they go through almost. USA in particular.
Ireland, I don't think.
Ireland, if they beat Pakistan.
No, then that's a different.
Then,
no, but if they beat
Yeah.
But then if they lose to US,
then they're out.
Then they lose to Pakistan.
Then they're out. Then it's USA who go through as the team as A2. Because India will be A1, irrespective
No,
of where they
but if
finish.
they beat USA and then they lose to Pakistan, then Pakistan would qualify.
No, how?
If they beat USA,
If they beat USA, then it all boiled down to net run rate.
yeah.
I have done that. You can check that out on Sports Today as well. So, Nikhil, before we let you go, predictions. What do you think? I mean, I know it's India winning, but how much the score?
Rhetorical question, Nikhil. Rhetorical question.
Thing is, the one other thing is that the pitches have slightly become better here, right? And this is something that was expected. That as you keep playing a few games here, pitches will get slightly better. India are bowling, right? USA batting. I don't know. Of course, I mean India to win. But if you allow US to get anywhere above 130, who knows? Who knows, right? Tricky conditions. 130 is proving to be very tough to chase down here. But I think the US batting isn't that bad. But they'll be up against some fine Indian bowling. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
I'm going 110 for USA.
USA.
Of course, India to win.
Yeah, because there is no Kenjige also. He's also out because of an injury.
It's just, you can call it the Sports Today curse. Actually, we interviewed two guys before the match, and both of them aren't playing.
Both of them are not there. Yeah, even Kenjige is not in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Aaron.
But the other two are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two are playing. That's
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones has been the batter for the USA.
Yeah.
He was the guy
And
who.
Saurabh.
And Travalkar.
Yeah, Netravalkar even I think would be a threat for India in terms if we talk.
31, I believe.
Yeah.
32, if I'm not mistaken. Saurabh, because he was under 19 World Cup. He
With
played
KL Rahul.
2010. Yeah, he was about 17 in 2010. Yeah, 31, 32. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, he could be a threat to Rohit Sharma, the left-hander.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Mumbai guy getting rid of a Mumbai thing. So let's take some comments. I mean, if we can, before we get to before we get to our predictions.
Yeah. Let's see.
114 is what Piyush Nandre has gone with. Shubham Garg is asking, what's your view on Hazelwood's statement? I think Siddharth.
I have done a video on Hazelwood's statement, but I guess it's nothing wrong. If you want to eliminate.
It depends really on context. How does he want to go without it?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
See, 25 years back, a similar thing had happened. You can check out on that video. They tried Australia at that time, but they failed. Spectacularly.
Dhanush says that faith was given to Vijay Shankar 2019 World Cup, Varun Chakravarti 2021, Ashwin in 22, Sky 23, all flopped. Will faith succeed with Dubey? Dhanush,
Exactly.
but you can't just abandon an experiment just 2 matches in when he's barely gotten a chance to do anything. He's batted in one game, hasn't batted in the other, not bowled at all. It would be just as harsh. It was like the Venkatesh Iyer experiment. You brought him in too early, then you dropped him also when he had done nothing to deserve being
he never bowled.
Oh, I think he's gone.
First ball.
First ball.
First ball.
Shayan Jahangir's gone. Yep.
Oh dear.
Came back in. There's a breeze blowing around. That's why it came back in.
And he's bowling with the breeze too.
Saw that happen yesterday as well.
Yeah. Vishal Panchal. I remember a chat I had with an old gentleman from the Caribbean island here 10 years back. He was a huge Gavaskar fan. Saw him play against great West Indies fast bowlers.
Oh, interesting. You can share some more details of that chat if possible, Vishal.
Oh,
See that ball?
He's stone dead. Stone dead. He didn't even look back, Arshdeep, for the umpire. Okay. That's about it.
Predictions, anyone?
Let me go because I think the expectations, because the US have batted with a lot of grit, truth be told. I think though the Indian team is going to walk all over them. So I'm actually going with USA about 92.
I was going to predict 103, but of course India win.
Yeah, all are, I think, predicting India win except Shashwat.
No, even I think India is in
Because you tend to go against the grain.
No, I think it's going to be India. But I think they would get to about 115-20.
That'll actually be a challenging.
That'll be a good total. I think it is 107 USA make and India are winning. Piyush Nandre, England can't take cricket to rest of Europe in 100
years.
100 years, and IC trying to make popular in USA. When big teams like West Indies, Sri Lanka are seeing all-time low.
Point well taken, Piyush. I understand how it is that you're viewing it, that you should probably be looking to improve the teams you have than trying to get in a new one. But you have to understand that the ICC and USA, when it comes to certain things, their visions are very aligned. For instance, the USA also are very good at squeezing every last bit of revenue out of anything.
Yeah.
That's what the ICC does. So
Indeed.
it works.
Indeed. You want to take Siddharth's comment?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
not at all. Anyhow,
Okay.
we hear enough of Siddharth on sports today. Both you and the other one who's not here.
There'll be a lot of unfair airtime to Siddharth.
I
Too
know.
many Siddharths.
Too many Siddharths. One is anyway not here.
Anyhow,
Okay, so
Was it
that's-
missing though?
No,
no,
it's
it's hitting.
hitting,
It's hitting.
Top of off stump, it's hitting.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the mid innings, whenever that may be.
Yeah, whenever that may be. So bye bye from me, Harshit, Shashwat, and Shane. Join us for the mid innings.